Hi, I'm RightSydeClyde, and I'm here to talk about bridge. I was kind of born ready to talk about bridge. But I mean, of course, the only thing more exciting than talking about bridge is playing it. So you might ask, why don't you just do that? But I could ask you the same thing. You're sitting on YouTube watching a video about bridge. And the answer, as we both know, is that the world is, unfortunately, a little bit cruel in this regard. It's a little unfair. And we're sort of cursed with these lulls between our bridge games. There are just those moments in life where you really just can't get a game of bridge going. And so I want to be here to help you fill that void, that bridge-shaped void. To give you an example, that club I regularly play at, on Thursday night there's a game that's not open to the general public. So I asked the other people at the club when we were at the bar one day, I said, so what do you guys do for bridge on Thursday nights? And they acted as if the question was not intelligible. One guy's like, I'm watching a football game. Watching a football game? The hell kind of answer is that? I mean, what if I had asked, so what are you eating for dinner tonight? Would I'm watching a football game be an answer? No, that's not an answer, right? And yet so somehow bridge is viewed as a less legitimate concern for your time. So anyway, whenever there's not a game in it, of course, since you're breathing, you're probably thinking about bridge, right? This will hopefully be a resource for you to give you some relief from the harsh reality that sometimes you just can't get a game going. So, what is this? What is this channel? Well, most of you probably have already figured it out because just as a function of sheer probability, if you're even watching this video at all, it's probably because it's like a year after this moment in time, and 7:30 in December, what the hell ever today is, and you're like watching my videos in reverse chronological order. You've got all the other ones done and you're down to the end, and it's like, okay, I guess I'll watch the intro. Kind of know it's not going to be all that thrilling. I've already seen all the real videos with real content. But we'll watch the intro. I'm not doing anything else. Nobody's really here to know. What's the difference? So, for those of you proceeding in the more normal way, who are seeing this first, what I want to do is basically the following. So I'll try to lay this out for you. There's a lot of resources out there on contract bridge, right? But most of it is sort of like reading a textbook, you know? It's like, here's how you take a finesse. Yeah, okay. Here's how you Here's how you take a rough in the shorthand. Yeah, all right, that sounds interesting. Here's how you respond to your partner's one of a major opening bid. Well, that sounds just like a fascinating topic. Respond to what? What were we talking about? So, now I can't stress enough that if you actually need to understand those things, it's way more important than anything I'm going to talk about, right? I mean, the value of understanding how to take a finesse if you're at a place in life where you don't actually know how to take one can't be overstated, and that's absolutely something you should learn how to do. But, there may come a point where there comes a point where someone knows enough about bridge that they might know how to do some basic things, and they'd like something a little more interesting for their brain to chew on. So that's what I intend to provide. I want to delve into the issues in bridge. What are the hot issues? What are people talking about? What are the good players? What do they disagree on? Now you get a little bit of this. You take the bridge bulletin. There's sections in there like the "It's Your Call" section. You get to see the general disagreements about different things, and even more so if you're a member of the bridge world. And some of the columns are more the editorial format rather than just tutorial, like really basic stuff. But like Larry Cohen or Marty Bergen or somebody like that can certainly write very interesting articles. But what you don't see a lot of is video. And I think, and this will probably be about the least controversial thing I'll say throughout the entirety of my my reign at YouTube. The video is pretty popular. And I mean, no matter, you almost can't find someone who owns so many books that they do not own a television. They have no interest in watching television. I mean, I there was a period in time when I didn't want to have a television, but I'm strange in that regard. And so, for that reason, people want something they can listen to, something that's entertaining. And reading's fun, but for whatever reason, people like video. They like television, and they like YouTube. They like the internet. It provides a certain kind of satisfaction that maybe reading does not. So I'm going to expand into that avenue. And there's just not really, I don't know of hardly any good opportunities to get onto the internet, and certainly not on television, so onto the internet and just listen to somebody just really talk about something really interesting with respect to bridge. The closest example is like if there's some big tournament going on Bridge Base, and you click on the commentary from whoever's doing it. I always end up at Roland Wald's table, and but that's fine, but that's somewhat limited to, well, whatever hand happens to come up. So if there's a lot of dead space, right? A lot of dead space. Anyway, so I intend to provide commentary. I'm not going to tell you how to take a finesse or what your rebid should be in this or that little basic situation. I want to talk about things that are actually interesting, and things that are sort of beyond the level of basic stuff, you know. I want to address questions. We're going to address questions about bidding judgment. You know, what do you need to make this call in this scenario? We'll talk about tactical bidding, which is something I feel that many people tend to really kind of not put much consideration into at all, right? What do you need to do when you have this kind of hand? What kind of a bid could you make that might be very difficult for opponents to work through, to work around? We'll talk about systems. Why do we play things a certain way? Why is it important to play? You know, why do we? Everybody. Okay, so you open a no trump and your partner bids 2 hearts and they double. What do my bids mean? You know, okay, so I've opened a no trump 2 hearts double. What do my bids mean? Everybody wants this to be one thing. I don't necessarily think it should be that. I don't think they really thought it out very hard. And here's why. That's the kind of thing that we'll discuss. We'll talk about things like playing with or against the field. You know, why does it matter? Why is that something that you need to think about? What should you do in one situation or another situation? Sometimes playing against the field is good. Sometimes it's very bad. What are some misconceptions people might have in that regard? We'll talk about psyching, talk about different ethical situations, what your responsibilities are. Talk about how to get better at the game. And obviously this is the big question, right? How do I actually get better at this game and do something other than just playing it every day for 20 years and still being in the same spot? How do I actually improve? Yeah, I mean, we got a lot. We probably won't. There probably won't be too much talk about things like just hand play straight out or defense. The reason for that is it's just sort of hard for this. It's not a very good format for that. That's more the kind of thing that one would talk about. You kind of need the cards in front of you to sort of see what's happening. And as soon as I figure out how to do it, I kind of suck at technology, but I'm really proud that I've got this camera going. This is really good for me. But I mean, I'm a 30-year-old guy who plays bridge, so. One might guess that I'm a little bit behind the times, but I'll interlace the if I'm going to talk about a hand, I'll interlace a slide of the hand, so it's not like, okay, you've got Jack 4th, King Jack 3rd, stiff, and Ace King 5th, and your partner does this, and it's like when you get back, like, oh, what did I have? Jack? What were my hearts again? Jack 3rd? What? No, it's King Jack 3rd, right? Some people can follow that, some people can't. But anyway, so when we talk about specific hands, as will certainly come up, I will put those bad boys on a slide so you can see them. If we're talking about all 4 hands, will all be there. Okay. And so like that, we'll also talk about things like specific hands interesting hands that have come up, and maybe just sort of a really, like a funny story that happened, like something really stupid that somebody did. Bridge is really rich with silly things that people are capable of doing. So a lot of stories like that. Okay, well, all right. Anyway, I'm RightSydeClyde, so I'll see you later.